All right. All right.
There we go.
Was a perfect start. At least we're not on mute.
Boom.
Bet the deed number 5.
Bet the deed number 5.
Didn't do it last week. Had Wi-Fi problems.
I don't know who the fuck watches this, but
had Wi-Fi problems last week, so we couldn't get it done. That's in the works. Trying to switch Wi-Fi's now and get a little bit better product.
But you think that's gonna work?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've talked to some of the neighbors and some of the people like around the neighborhood. Then most of them have Cox, and so we have Verizon. So we're gonna switch to Cox and just hopefully that'll do something because we've had Verizon for years and years. So I mean, probably should have switched before now.
Cox is where it's at,
right? At least around here, because Verizon they only have DSL around here.
Yeah, let me crack this.
All right, so bet the deed tonight.
We
might have a couple. We might only be doing like 2 different sports: NBA, UFC. Big UFC event this weekend, so we're gonna be focusing on that. And plus, we went over it in detail last night, so we might as well.
Detail, bro.
But you want to start with that? You want to start with NBA? What do you want to do?
NBA.
All right. So tonight we got a bunch of games. We will start with the 7:00 games because they're about to start.
Hell yeah.
So we got Clippers at the Hornets. Clippers 46-23. Hornets 33-36. Clippers are minus 8.5. The Hornets have been good, but they've been slowing off over the last couple weeks.
Okay.
So for injuries, Miles Bridges and Gordon Hayward are out for the Hornets, and Serge Ibaka is still out for the Clippers. Serge Ibaka's been out for a while, though.
I'm going to take the Clippers minus 8.5.
Sprinkle. I'm going to take the Hornets.
Dylan's funny.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Hornets plus 8.5. Because I think it's going to be a closer game than that. I like LaMelo Ball. I mean, Miles Bridges being out still hurts, but they still have Terry Rozier.
Yeah. You like the Hornets, you said?
No, I just like them plus 8.5.
Plus 8.5?
Yeah.
I'm going to go minus 8.5. I'm going to go against the bookie.
And let's see what we got for over-under.
Give me those minus 9 points.
Minus 9. What, you want to take it at 0.5?
I wonder what the odds are.
No,
I'll take 8.5. But
all right, so the over-under is 220.
220.
Clippers are not the best defense, but the Hornets don't have great offense. I'm going to take under, yeah. And then we got Nuggets Timberwolves. The Nuggets are in Minnesota, and the Nuggets are minus 2.5. That surprises me that the Nuggets aren't a little bit. Don't have more of a spread.
But take the Nuggets.
Oh, the Nuggets have a bunch of people out.
Oh.
The Nuggets have Michael Porter Jr., P.J. Dozier, Will Barton, and Monte Morris out, and Nikola Jokic is only probable. Timberwolves have Malik Beasley out. The Timberwolves 22-47, one of the worst teams in the NBA.
Oh, I'm taking the minus 2.5. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm going to take a minus 2.5 too. Over-under is 230. With all the people being out for the Nuggets, I'm going to go ahead and say under. For that.
Even though life's too short to take the over. Go under.
Yeah. We also have the 76ers at the Heat. That's going to be a really good game. Heat are one of the best teams in the East. 76ers, I believe, are still the best team in the East, rivaling with the Nets. Heat minus 2 in Miami.
I take the Sixers plus 2, bro.
Take the Sixers plus 2?
Yeah.
It's a ballsy pick. I like it, though. Look at injuries real quick.
Is Simmons out?
The Heat have, wow. So Oladipo tore his hamstring. He's out for the year on the Heat. And Jimmy Butler is doubtful. And the 76ers do not have any injuries.
I'm going to take Sixers plus 2.
The Hornets just have a great squad, Joel Embiid is going to be going up against Bam Adebayo on the Heat. That's going to be a great matchup. Ben Simmons locking up the guards. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Sixers.
I could
even take Sixers money line.
Joel Embiid, possible MVP.
I could take the Sixers money line. Sixers money line plus 110. It's not bad. Over under 217.5. I'm going to go under.
Honestly,
again.
I just take the plus 2 points, bro. I would take the +2 because fuck it. But over under,
217.5.
I'm gonna go over.
I think I'm gonna go under on that as well.
Oh, I said over.
I mean, I've taken under in all of these.
Oh
so
yeah,
far.
yeah. Let's go to
Real quick, you're watching Bet the Deed, brought to you by, where is it? Naked Sports. Oh, that's only in the corner. Let me find it. I'll find it here.
boom. Yeah, that one you can see.
Naked Sports. Check out naked.sports on YouTube and also go check out Naked Sports on Instagram. Naked Sports hosting the first annual Yard Olympics coming this summer, July 10th, Goddard Park in Warwick, Rhode Island. That's going to be a lot of fun. Check that out.
Warwick.
Details available on nakedsports.com. Warwick, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and fans only sports. Right?
It's Naked Sports is the host.
Yeah.
We've built up fans only. We're trying to build up Naked Sports now.
All right.
You feel me? So what do you want?
Anyway.
What do you want to go to?
Spurs Knicks, interesting.
Spurs Knicks in New York, and I have New York -4.5, barring any injuries, which I will check right now.
I will have New York -4.5 as well.
What is that? Is that -10? Spread's always -10. Right?
Over under 215. I'm gonna go over 215 and a half.
I'm gonna go over that as well. Derrick Rose is out for the Knicks. He hasn't been having a great season though. It's kind of like a 6-man role. Julius Randle. You know Julius Randle?
Heard of him.
All right, so he was part of the Lakers bunch
Okay.
when they had like Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram,
Okay.
D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle,
Okay.
and they traded almost everybody for LeBron and AD.
Okay.
And he was one of those guys that made his way out, and he's actually like the star player on the Knicks right now. The Knicks are third in the East, and they're doing really good. He's averaging like 25 points a game. Power forward.
Okay.
He is like Zion Williamson, but a little less strong and a better jump shot. He can hit threes and shit. It's pretty good. He's having like a breakout year. And I like him against the Spurs. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Knicks -4.5.
I'm taking them -4.5 as well, and the over.
What's the over?
215 and a half.
Yeah, I'm going to take over for that as well. Trailblazers go to the Suns.
I'm gonna go Suns, no matter what.
Suns have been immaculate this year.
Yeah.
Let's see. Why is it only 3 points though? I would think that the DeAndre Ayton is out.
Going Suns. I think they're just.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton's a big part. That's the big man. That's a good defensive anchor. I mean, they still have Devin Booker and Chris Paul been going off, but Dame has been going off lately too. I might take the Suns +3 here. I can see them going into Phoenix and taking a game. Yeah, I'm going to take them +3. Over under 236.
They're +3?
The Trailblazers.
Oh, Trailblazers +3?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to take the Suns.
Over under 236.5. And I am going to take the over.
I'm going to take the over.
Suns and Trailblazers both very high scoring teams.
Yeah. Over. Baseball? Baseball.
Yeah. If you want to, I'll add in what I can if you want to go over some baseball.
Okay. Red Sox, Oakland Athletics.
Well, the Sox have lost 2 in a row to Oakland.
Yeah.
They lost 4-1 last night. The Red
And
Sox
I think they're on
left-
it. I think they're on a down.
The Red Sox left 7 runners in scoring position on base last night.
in scoring position, so they're
Scoring
at second and third. Wow.
Here's the thing, right? Last night, Oakland played Boston. Oakland won 4-1.
They did.
Boston left
They did.
7 players on scoring position on base, and they left 9 runners in total on base.
Wow.
The one run the Red Sox had was because Oakland walked Vasquez with the bases loaded. That's the only run that we scored last night.
I'm gonna go. Excuse me.
Shit. Who is the
Okay.
starting pitcher? Oh, and it's Sean Manaea for the Athletics. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Athletics for sure.
Yeah, Athletics.
And the Athletics are +1.5.
That's minus 200. Money line. They're
It's
minus
-105. I'd take a money line.
I take a money line too.
Yeah.
Any
Garrett
prop-
Richards is having a good year for the Red Sox, though. And I'm going to go ahead and take the under 9.
under 9.
Under 9 for Athletics Red Sox.
We'll take. You see, they left 7 runners in scoring position, so like they were almost there,
Mhm.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get
Sox are
swept? Do they get
Sox
swept?
are still doing good on the year, 22-16.
Do they get swept right here?
I think they might. Yeah, I think they might.
They're in Oakland.
They're in Boston.
They're in Boston.
They're in Boston.
They get swept in Boston. They do. They have been playing worse on at home.
Mm-hmm. Well, the MLB in total this year has been playing worse at home. It's weird. It's like split stats.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Oakland Athletics plus 1.5, and I will take the under.
You're gonna take them plus 1.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a money line, and I'm gonna take plus 1.5. Plus under 9. Under 9. Yankees at Rays. You've been of the opinion that the Yankees.
I
have
am
been
going
doing
to pick
better,
the Yankees minus 1.5. I think their bats are starting to come around. I fucking hate the Yankees.
Huh? Mm-hmm.
I disregard them as a franchise and as a team in whole. And as an
Naturally.
organization, they blow.
It looks like
As an
they're
organization, they're good, but they suck.
It looks like they're getting most of their batters back too from injury.
Stanton's coming around. Judge is coming around. They both hit home runs in last night's game for the first time in a while.
Wow! If you look at the, can
Um,
I tell you the Yankees starting lineup averages real quick?
Hmm.
When you say the bats are coming around, it's the top 4 and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready for this? LeMahieu 272, Stanton 283, Judge 271, Urshela 294, and then after that 178, 103, 146, 110, 188. That's pretty crazy. They got Jameson.
It can only get better, right?
They got James. Maybe. Who says it's gonna be today though? They have
It's
Jameson.
gonna take time.
They have Jameson Taillon on the hill, who's pretty good, and then the Rays have Rich Hill on the hill, who's not as good. So yeah, I would take the Yankees. What'd you say? minus 1.5.
Minus 1.5. I think, bro. I think their bats are coming around. I think
The Yankees
Now
are
is the
positive.
time to-
They're 20-16. They're almost caught up to the Red Sox.
now's the time to bet them.
Who's winning the AL East? Yeah, the Red Sox still are. The Red Sox are still. Oh, the Athletics are 1 game ahead from the Red Sox for the AL first place.
Yeah,
Wow,
they're
the
gonna win.
MLB does not have. There's no clear-cut favorite in the MLB right now.
Hmm.
The Cardinals had the best record at 23-15, tied with the Athletics, and the Red Sox have the second best record.
Yeah.
Tied with the White Sox.
Okay, let's get to the cookies and cream and the crumble.
Are we going to UFC?
Well, hang on.
Okay.
Before we get to the cookies and cream, do we want to talk NFL?
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's see. Some futures.
I don't know if there's any new futures than what we talked about, but we can talk about them again.
Did we?
Because I actually have an opinion that I would hate to say, but I will say it just for the podcast's sake about
Okay.
the NFL futures.
Okay.
Let me find the exact stat first. Because remember when we talked about each team's win-loss total?
Yeah.
And you could bet the over or the under on it?
Yeah.
So there was a specific team that I just want to check what their over-under is again. When I saw their schedule, I looked at I
their
thought they
schedule.
were going to be an 11-12 team win, and now I'm the Indianapolis Colts.
We did it with
The Indianapolis Colts.
we did it without schedules.
Indianapolis Colts have a murderer's row. It's literally like Seahawks, Rams, Buccaneers, Cowboys, Patriots, Titans twice, Jaguars twice. Probably lose a game there. Browns, and a bunch of
If you think about-
Cardinals, and a bunch of those are away.
If you think about it, though, a lot of those teams that we've talked about, not on podcasts, a lot of those teams we've said are probably on the downtrend, including the Ravens.
Possibly.
Including the Ravens, Jaguars, they could beat twice.
And you know
Pats
what?
are on
When
the
we
downtrend, they could beat the Pats. Who else did you say?
Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, 49ers.
Rams, first time Matthew Stafford in a new offense.
I think the Rams might win the NFC Championship this year.
I don't think not with him first year on the team. I think second year possibly, yeah. I think the Colts can beat them.
The Rams also have one of the best defenses in the NFL this year.
They do, but Colts have one of the best O-lines. Bro, I'm defending your own team.
No, I know.
defending your own team.
Well, because I'm always
I
going to
like
be
them.
the biggest critic of the Colts. I'm going to be their
I
biggest
like them.
supporter, but analyzing it, I'm going to be the biggest critic.
I like them.
You know, run the damn ball. I think is going to be great. We got Marlon Mack back on a cheap deal for 1 year, and he's the backup behind Jonathan Taylor, who looks to be the real deal. Nyheim Hines is still there for a third down back. We have decent receivers. Carson Wentz in his first year, but it's with a system he's used to with Frank Reich. I like the offense. The defense is good, but when you go against that schedule,
Yes.
So I just told you all those. Let me tell you their away games. Away. Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, Ravens, Titans, Jaguars, Texans.
It's a win. That's at least one win.
So that's at least one win away. That's 7 losses. You know what I mean?
No. It's not 7.
No. It's not 7 for sure, but that's 7 possible losses in a 17-game schedule. When they're over, what are they going to go 8-0 at home? I love the Colts. I think they're going to do good at home, but 8-0 at home.
But they're going to lose to the Pats because of the bye week at home. So cross that out.
Maybe.
Cross that out.
You know, and they're over. They're over. It's
more
not.
likely,
it's not a guarantee.
It's most
not a
likely no.
guarantee.
It's most likely no.
I would say the Colts are still the favorites, even though it's after a bye.
It's most likely.
Here's the thing: we got to get closer to that.
real.
We got to
Let's
get
be
closer
real.
to that week because we don't even know who the starting quarterback of the Pats is going to be. That's a legitimate.
Yeah,
that's
it is.
That's completely
Well,
legitimate.
it's late
Yeah.
in the season,
Dude,
so.
Mac Jones probably is going to take over
imagine that.
before halfway through the year.
I'll get
I
his
really
autograph,
think he
bro.
will. I really think he'll.
Mac Jones.
I really think he'll start over Cam
Toss
Newton
him a
halfway
football.
through the year.
I'll toss him a football.
Colts over under is 10.
Wait 1 second. Where is this? Okay. Bingo.
I said over
Just popped in my head.
because I think
It just popped in my head.
my initial thought was they'd go 12-5, and now I'm thinking maybe not. They might not even make playoffs.
Yeah.
AFC's tough this year, bro. AFC's tough.
It's tougher than the NFC.
Maybe.
It's getting there. Aaron Rodgers, he's going to Denver.
I like Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders
No way. But that would be so sick. But he ain't going
because John Gruden seems like the type of coach that would make a splash deal like that.
with Derek Carr. Wow.
Derek Carr,
Well, with
3-team tree.
Derek Carr, 2 first-round picks.
No, because Packers don't want a quarterback. They got Jordan Love. They don't want a quarterback.
Yeah.
3-team trade with Denver. Send Carr to the Broncos. Broncos send 2 picks to the Packers. Rodgers to the Raiders, and the Raiders send like 3 picks to the Packers.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think the Colts might not hit their over like I initially said, which is since we're talking NFL futures.
We're getting it. Should we go to MMA or should we go?
Let me
cut this
see.
short if you want.
So real quick, you can bet on what conference will win the Super Bowl. AFC or NFC? Do you think is the favorite?
AFC.
AFC. You can also bet the over-under score on the Super Bowl, 56.
Right now.
Over-under, 56. By the way, the NFC is plus 120 to win the Super Bowl.
Over under 56.
I think it's over. We did just see a low-scoring game.
I'm gonna go under.
I think it's going to be over. I think there's going to be one team this year, whether it's the Chiefs, whether it's the Packers who kept Aaron Rodgers and he's just going the fuck off. I think there's going to be one team this year that scores so much. Yeah. All right. You want to hop into UFC? I'm going to run a quick ad.
Yeah.
You're watching Bet the Deed podcast brought to you by Naked Sports and Fans Only Sports. We will be right back. Check out MMA Complete podcast every Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
And we're live. Boom.
Boom, we're live. All right. So, UFC 262 is going to be happening Saturday, May 15th.
Where?
Vegas?
In Boston.
The card isn't in.
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
thought you
yeah.
meant the card. I'm like, I don't know that off the top of my head. So we are obviously the hosts of MMA Complete.
We are
Which
obviously
does-
the host.
which- This guy.
Yeah, they know us.
This guy.
They know us, bro.
Don't mind Austin. He's a
What
little
the
high.
fuck?
So UFC 262 is going to
What
be
the
happening
fuck?
this weekend. Couple cancellations have already happened on it, which just sucks. But
Yeah.
there's still some very close fights, which makes betting super interesting.
Think
So we went over this like 3 hours yesterday. We never do this before the Bet the Deed. We usually do this for Bet the Deed, but we did it just in our spare time yesterday.
Your spare time.
So to know more about, well, I guess we're going to be talking about our picks, but
Yeah.
go follow MMA Complete Podcast as well, YouTube, Twitter, and all that shit. Let's just hop right into it.
All right.
So for the main event, we're going to start off with who we like for each fight. We're going to start after that with over-unders for each fight, and then we're going to go into some parlays that we've talked about by
Yeah.
ourselves. So you want to just go fight by fight. We can just talk
Fight
about
by
it a little
fight.
bit because some of these we agree, but the top two we're kind of juxtaposing.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
let you start.
I don't know. I might go Chandler because of that Paul Felder fight. But
So the main event
that's talked about on MMA Complete. So tune in later.
Right.
MMA Complete. But yeah, I think Chandler by TKO is just the safer bet. You know what I mean? Like, I've changed my mind about it. I think that's the safer bet.
I agree. I think Chandler by TKO is the way to go. And if you choose him by TKO, it's plus 250, which is probably the best odds you'll ever have Chandler at TKO for.
Yeah.
His last fight, he knocked out Dan Hooker in a minute and a half.
I think he could just rush him. This dude does kind of have
But then
like a
you
soft chin.
And then you got Oliveira wins by submission at plus 200, which is also really good odds for him.
I know. It kind of makes like they do. They make sense with the numbers. But I think Chandler by TKO because he could already knock him out in the first minute.
I don't think he'll knock him out in the first minute. I think it'll be like a ground and pound. We don't need to get into exactly what we think. Check out MMA Complete Podcast if you want to know that. But
It's hard not to talk
I
about
think that
that.
Chandler will win by TKO plus 250. Co-main
Yeah.
event: Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush.
Shevchenko by decision plus 175.
Okay, not co-main event.
Main event. But we want to do the co-main
No,
event.
go ahead, Shevchenko. If you like, you want to
no,
talk about
co-main
the best
event.
odds you got.
Co-main event. You got Tony by decision plus 480.
Plus 480. And I think that is really good odds. I think Tony's due for a win. But there's also a couple other. Tony by submission is plus 1100.
I like that.
Now, Tony hasn't been in a dominant ground position in 2.5 fights,
Yeah.
which is the one reason I think that it's up a lot. But he has
Yeah.
great wrestling and good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And Dariush is not a consummate wrestler, so there's always a chance that he just gets him in a quick submission or he knocks him down. Right, you're right. I'm just saying submission would be a decent something to sprinkle.
Yeah.
And then you got Dariush by, I think if Dariush
Dariush
wins,
by
it's by
decision.
decision,
Yeah,
which
plus
is plus
150.
150, which is also good.
safe bet. It's if you think Dariush is gonna win. But like, bro, like if Tony wins plus 480, I'd rather put my money there.
I would too.
Yeah, and sprinkle a little something on the submission. You know what I mean?
Right. Put like $100 down on Tony by points. Put $10 down by submission, and then put like $20 down on Dariush by points. Units, whatever.
Yeah, put a couple units down.
Okay.
But yeah, I think if you wanna spend your money, put it on Tony. I think it's the safer bet.
Next fight is Caitlin Chukagian versus Vivian Araujo, women's bantamweight division, women's featherweight division, excuse me.
Chikagian.
And it's almost a sure bet that this is going to decision. So if you can bet this fight goes to decision, just that's a smart bet. And I believe we saw yesterday, I think it was minus 130 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's such a smart bet because neither of these women have either won a fight ever, not by decision.
I think
Chookagian is the favorite.
Chookagian is the favorite. People are leaning towards Araujo. It moved 5 points. So, I mean, give or take that. Chookagian by decision plus 105. Put it in the bank.
Yeah.
I think that's a lock.
I'm with you.
That's a lock. And the Chandler by TKO. Lock it up. Because it's either Chandler by TKO or Oliveira by submission. I don't think Oliveira can win by...
What do you think's more likely to happen? Oliveira by points or Oliveira by TKO?
Points.
You think so?
Yeah, and I don't feel confident. I don't feel Oliveira's confidence because he came out in an interview saying he's going to knock him out in the first round. Nobody is thinking that. Nobody is thinking, yeah, Oliveira's going to come out and knock him out in the first round. No one's thinking that. No. That just proves to me like he's
that could
not
just be something he says so that Chandler's thinking it's going to stand. We don't need to talk about this.
I know.
Complete podcast Thursday nights at 8.
Yeah, but it's true though. It's he's not in the right mindset. He's not thinking what he should be thinking. What is the next one? Barbosa.
Edson Barboza versus
Shane Burgos.
Yes.
Edson Barboza, the underdog. It's okay. I'm going against the bookie on here. I'm going to take Edson Barboza, and I'm going to go by decision plus 260.
Yeah, I think it's smart bet is on decision. Barboza
by TKO is plus 360.
Barboza definitely has a chance to knock him out. Shane Burgos is most likely going to win by points. I don't think he knocks out Barboza. So I think it goes to decision. And being that Edson Barboza has been in the UFC and other organizations for so long, I think Barboza will win. So Barboza by decision, what'd you say it was?
Plus 260.
Yeah, plus 260, that's great odds for a guy like Barboza, a veteran.
This is my other lock that I would hammer. I'm not going to bet on all of these. I'm just giving my opinion on them. Schnell by decision is a lock. Lock. Toss it in the bank.
That's Matthew Schnell, yeah.
Matt Schnell.
Yeah. Matthew Schnell by decision.
By decision, plus 175.
Yeah.
I do not see him knocking this guy out at all. At all. You have that as well.
What is this, featherweight?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the safe bet on that. Jordan Wright by TKO. Good sprinkle.
Well, I want to talk about one other fight before that. Andre Muniz versus Ronaldo Jacare Souza. Jacare has obviously been on the downtrend for a couple years in the UFC, and he's fighting Andre Muniz, who literally looks like a smaller Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old. He's making his way into the UFC. Mm-hmm. He lost his last fight, but Ronaldo Souza has a weak chin, and I think Muniz has a chance to knock him out, especially being that Souza's so old. And Muniz by TKO is plus 350.
Yeah.
So I like that bet a lot.
Plus 350 against a guy who just
got knocked
out off someone's back. I think it's a smart bet. I think it's a clever bet. And I really think he could get dropped. It's only been 3-4 months.
It depends. And if you want to know why, check out MMA Complete Podcast.
Has it been 3-4 months? It's only been 2 months.
Yeah, I want to say it was December now.
The guy got dropped and then rocked after.
No, it was December because Kevin Holland won all those fights in 2020. Mm-hmm. So it's been like 5 months.
It's a clever bet. At plus 350.
Yeah.
Jacare gets him to the ground though. It's not going to be a knockout. I can tell you that right now.
Right. Well, if Jacare gets him to the ground and he doesn't finish it in round 1, he's probably going to be tired. And then round 2, it could be over.
Yeah.
We got a couple more here. Let's get through
Jordan Wright by TKO plus 200 heavyweight bout. I like him.
So Jordan Wright is facing
Jamie
Jamie
Pickett.
Pickett. Jordan Wright was 11-0 before he lost his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming back to fight Jamie Pickett, who's on a 3-fight losing streak. Jordan Wright is a knockout artist. Jordan Wright by TKO
Plus 200. Smart.
plus 200. I like that.
I like that a
And
lot.
here's another reason why I like it. Bookies have this fight, the over-under. It's a 3-round fight, and they have it at 1.5.
Yeah, and then one of the
So they think it's going to end early.
no, they have the under 1.5 at plus 135.
Right, but if
The over 1.5.
Yeah. no, but I know. But if they didn't think it was going to be a finish, it would have been over under 2.5. Is my point. So the fact
Yeah.
that they have it at under 1.5 means they think someone's getting knocked out, and I think Jordan Wright's going to be the winner. So I like Wright by TKO.
Yeah. It's sketchy betting rounds, man. I don't really like betting on the rounds. It's a tough sweat.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
kind of like debilitating. It sucks. Yeah.
I want to say the rounds are on the next
Are
page after
they?
that, yeah,
Okay.
this one.
What's that?
It's Madden.
Oh. All right.
Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira over or under 2.5 rounds. I say under.
I'm gonna go under, and it's minus 160, over plus 140. So under minus 160, I would take that because I think Chandler's gonna.
Both
knock
of
him
these
out.
guys are finishers.
Chandler's gonna knock this dude out in the first 2 rounds, and it's something that it was tough for me to admit, but I finally admitted it to myself. It's gonna happen.
Over under 2.5. Here's the thing: Chandler won his last fight in under a half a round. Oliveira should have won his last fight under 2.5, but Tony Ferguson is just a man, an animal.
Yeah.
So that would have got stopped under 2.5. I believe that someone will get finished before 2.5. So I like that bet at minus 160.
Darush
Ferguson.
versus Tony. Co-main event. Over under 2.5. Over minus 185. Under plus 165.
Yeah, I think this goes to decision. I don't think there's any way Darush knocks out Ferguson, and I really don't see a way Ferguson knocks out Darush, although it's kind of possible. So I would take the over. I'm not sweating that really at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over
Minus 185.
185.
And then we both have the over, like we mentioned, for the next fight. Chukagan versus Araujo. Neither women have won a fight that hasn't gone the distance, so that one's almost certain to go the distance, which is why it's minus 420 over 2.5. This little sprinkle.
Yeah.
Not really worth a bet to add on to a parlay because it's not going to get you any odds, like you
Yeah.
pointed out.
Yeah. It's just a sweat that you shouldn't have to take. You know, it doesn't make that much sense.
Right.
But Burgos versus Barbosa, over under 2.5.
I said over because I think Barboza wins by decision. I think this is the slowest fight of the night, Burgos Barboza.
Yeah.
I think we see like under 100 strikes landed in total.
Yeah, over. Souza versus Muniz, under minus 105.
Now, this
Under
could come
2.5.
back to bite us in the ass because, like we said, if Jacare wrestles and goes on the ground, this totally could go the decision to Jacare. But I think Jacare will lose and get knocked out, so I'm going to say under.
Yeah.
It's under 2.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take the under.
What is this guy? Schnell versus Bontorn.
Yeah, I trust you, and you said that this is definitely going to decision. Plus, it's a smaller weight
Yeah.
fight, so
Yeah, over
makes sense
minus
to me.
115, 2.5. Shevchenko versus Lee on another minus 420
Yeah.
under. So
I think that's not right. I think you wrote that one mistaken about Chukagan. Remember?
did I? No, it's the same. It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Grundy versus Venonata. Over under 2.5. I'm gonna go over minus 185. That could be an under though.
Mm-hmm.
That could be an under. So if you want the sprinkle, do that. Yeah, that's one that I would not put my money on.
Yeah.
Jordan Wright versus Pickett, 1.5.
That
Under
one's
plus
so
130.
That one's so tough. What do I have there? Do I have under? I'm almost leaning towards over now.
I'm gonna stick with under.
I think it's going to be in the second round. I just don't know if it's over or under that 2.5 minute mark. That's what I think.
We gotta
Last
remember
fight-
we looked up Pickett's never been over 1.5 rounds.
Last fight, Jordan Wright. No, Jordan Wright's never been over 1.5.
Yeah,
Because Jordan Wright, his last loss was in 49 seconds the second round.
under 130.
Right.
Lutz versus Aguilar. I'm gonna go over 2.5, and I think you should too.
Okay. Because I don't know anything
Yeah,
about either.
you
of them,
should.
So, okay.
And Aguilar by decision is a good bet. If you want to know that.
All right. So now we got some parlays. We can get some of the easy ones off. You have Schnell by decision, and Chukagian by decision is almost locks.
Yeah.
And so I would go with that. And then we got a couple.
Oh wait, I got a
others.
couple locks for those. I got a couple locks. I got Chandler by TKO. Scratch that.
You got that as a lock, though? I don't know if I have that as a lock.
If he's gonna, I have that for a win. If he's gonna win, it's by TKO.
I definitely feel confident in it, but it's not something like if we're saying right now we're gonna tell you some parlays that you should definitely bet. I'm gonna go with the ones that make sense but won't win you the most money.
Exactly.
So Chandler by TKO is what I think will happen in that fight, but I wouldn't feel comfortable putting that on the parlay that I know is gonna hit.
Oh no, you can't put those on parlays.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you just put Chandler on a parlay?
On just a straight bet. Would I put Chandler on a parlay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Chandler by TKO. Yes, would bet for that fight. Would
Mhm.
sprinkle plus 250. That's a great number for something that really, really could happen.
Right.
That's something I'm gonna bet on. That's a lock for me. Chukagian by decision, lock. Munez by TKO, sprinkling,
Mm-hmm.
and Shevchenko by decision.
Yep.
And I'm gonna probably stay away from all the rest.
I might throw some money on Jordan Wright TKO.
I might too, but I can't get carried away here.
Yeah.
Because we got these. So Chukagian, these numbers are great for parlays, dude. They're great.
I know the
Um,
two parlays I'm saying, so you can go ahead with yours.
All right, so you go, so I can
All right.
choose.
I actually have two parlays I really like and another parlay that's worth throwing money on. So the first parlay and the parlay that I like the most is the over between Edson Barboza and Shane Burgos. Parlayed with Tony Ferguson winning money line. Parlayed with Ronaldo Souza versus Alex Muniz under.
Hmm.
So the under 2.5 in Souza Muniz, the under 2.5 in Barboza and Burgos, and Tony Ferguson.
I like that bet a lot too.
I think this must be. I think we wrote this wrong. I think this is over. Was it the under Barboza and Burgos? Because I like Barboza by decision. Anyway, I'm going to keep that there because that's what we have. But that's plus 1160. For those two, I mean, I think Souza
Risky.
Muniz under is a lock.
It's risky.
But then I also have Oliveira, Barboza, Chukagian all money line at plus 550.
Mm.
And then the last one I want to say, if you don't like Oliveira and you like Chandler like me, Chandler, Chukagian, Barboza, just like the Oliveira we just
You like
talked about.
Barboza, huh?
Chandler, Chukagian, Barboza, and Tony Ferguson. 4-person parlay, I know. It's risky, but it's plus 1,800.
We need to bring it back to reality.
I really think that those four are going to win, and I've said that for the last couple weeks.
Okay.
But those are the ones that I'd feel the most confident about the plus 1160, the two unders, and Tony. But the other two, I think I would throw some money on.
Yeah, I like the Munez Chukagian, and the Shevchenko Chukagian.
Muniz, Chukagian parlayed together is plus 240. I like that a lot.
Shevchenko Chukagian plus 200's interesting. All right, so the ones I like that you don't have to worry about a lot of bets hitting, and you're gonna get the best money for your buck. Barbosa, Munez, Chandler. plus 800. I like that.
Even if you just go Barboza and Muniz for plus 330, I think that's probably a lock too.
That's a good bet. I like that bet too. The other bet I like is Chukagian, Barbosa, Schnell. I like that a lot.
Plus 500.
Plus 500. Like it a lot. Why? Chukagian is going to win by decision. We know that. Barbosa, knockout, decision. Multiple ways of winning. The other guy, who's the other guy? Exactly. I don't know his name. The guy sucks.
Who, Matt Schnell? That's
No.
your guy.
No, Barbosa. Who's the other guy he's facing exactly?
Oh, Shane Burgos. No, Shane Burgos is good, though.
Whatever.
If you want to know more about Shane Burgos, we're going to talk about it on MMA
Yeah.
Complete Podcast every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Brought to you by FanDuel Sports. Check it out on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Yeah. Damn, what the fuck? Lightning in the bottle. And Schnell. So plus 500.
So
And-
we have like 4 or 5 people that we feel heavily on, and it sucks that we can't throw the outcomes with parlays because I would love to do that because I think we could hit a couple of those.
I'd love to do that too.
But for the most part, we are leaning towards Chandler. We're not going to say it's a lock yet, but we're both leaning towards Chandler.
Yeah, and I have.
We're kind of split, Tony and Darush, so I don't know if we should
I don't
touch
know.
that one.
I don't know about Tony. I don't think you should touch.
I
Tony.
like Tony, but I know you don't, so I don't think we should.
Yeah,
touch
but
it.
don't blame me if he wins. That's what I'm
I
saying.
wouldn't.
Yeah, but if he could win. I'm saying he could
you're
win.
always the one that's like, oh, Zach told me to bet on him. Fuck you. I believe
I know,
you.
but I'm joking.
Chris Weidman.
I know.
That was all my fault. That was all
Dude,
my fault.
I was joking.
Yeah,
I was
I know,
joking.
I know.
It's
But
that's
we
why
have,
we're joking about it now.
But we have
It's funny.
Chukagian.
That was funny though. Come on.
That was
We
funny.
had him on like 10 parlays,
We
and the
did.
motherfucker broke his
Like,
leg in 15
seconds.
seconds. That's worse than Mearshart.
yeah, it is. So we have
Not as much money,
we didn't
but
have
we're-
as
but
much
bad.
money on it. Yeah,
Not as much money, but bad.
we have Chukagian, Schnell, Chandler.
Barbosa.
Barbosa's another one that I
What do you
like
mean?
the odds. That's
I know,
why.
I know, but we have him on all the ones that we said are locks.
I like Barbosa. I don't
know why he's plus 120, and I don't know
because
why.
Shane Burgos is good.
I know, but I don't get why it's not like minus 110, minus 110.
Yeah.
I don't want to. The problem is,
And if you want to find out why, check out MMA Complete. That's
Yeah.
going to do it for Bet the Deed podcast, number 5 in the books. Stay tuned for MMA Complete podcast coming to you live 8 to 9 p.m. And definitely check out MMA Complete when we live stream UFC 262 pay-per-view from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. from Boston.
Yeah, we'll probably be up late.
Oh, yeah.
We're probably
We'll
going
be-
to be token.
That's going to be a great night. So check it out. We will be live coming right up after this. So stay tuned for MMA Complete and check us out next week again. Bet the Deed Thursday night at 7 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Later.